I'm Roman Yossi of the Nashville Predators.
I'm Matt Duchesne of the Nashville Predators.
I'm Justus Aros of the Nashville Predators.
I'm Ryan Johansson of the Nashville Predators.
You're listening to the Renegades of Puck
with Crazy Charlie.
Welcome to the Bunker. Welcome to the Renegades of Puck podcast. I'm your host and captain, Crazy Charlie Saunier. And before we get started on the No Half Step in hockey coverage, let me first direct you to our home website, renegadesofpuck.com. Once you go to renegadesofpuck.com, you'll learn everything you need to know about the show. Once you're good and educated about the show, you can click on that merchandise tab. That's going to take you straight to our classic logo t-shirt, our Pride logo t-shirt, our special event t-shirts, and don't forget our brand new t-shirt line. The last one to die logo line is up in our online store now, so please check that out. All the special events and gimmicks you've come to expect from the Renegades of Puck still available in our online store. Of course, socks, throw pillows, wall arts, bed sets. You can outfit your entire home or your entire person with Renegades of Puck merchandise, and we would appreciate it if you would do that because we sold out so that you can buy in. Social media is of critical importance to this independent hockey operation. So listen up, Renegades. Here's how you can help support the cause. Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok are all the social media platforms. You will find the Renegades of Puck. We are active on all of those different platforms. So please, if one of those is your preferred, give us a follow, give us a like, give us a subscription, whatever it is. Make sure you are participating in that social media platform. When it comes to YouTube, thank you so much. We lost a subscriber. I noticed. Don't think I don't notice these things, Renegades. So if you could please go to YouTube and give us a subscription to our YouTube channel. Over 200 episodes now of Renegades of Puck TV. And also flip on those notifications. It helps us out and helps us get those replay counts up. And that goes a long way to helping the Renegades of Puck build our audience. So again, stick out to love, respect to each and every one of you watching Renegades of Puck TV, except for you one who dropped off the list. I'm keeping my eye out for you. You're always welcome back. Come on, back in the trenches. You can also find the audio podcast on numerous platforms, and that is thanks to the Full Press Hockey Coverage Network, the Full Press Predators podcast. We are so proud to be a part of that network, and they are platforming us in new ways that we have never been able to achieve before, and that's helping us get a larger audience and bigger, wider audience all over the globe, actually, and we're so proud of that. Google, Stitcher, Spotify, Amazon, that's just a couple of different places you can find the podcast, or just search Renegades of Puck in your preferred platform today. Venmo is how you can become a partner of the show or just make a financial donation. And believe me, every single dollar goes a long way to helping the Renegades of Puck. As a matter of fact, just realized we've got to pick up some new gear for the Renegades of Puck Hockey Club. Need to get some more pucks, need to get some more tape, need to get some more basic things, and we need fundage for that. So I ask your assistance, and I appreciate all you can do to help us out. Thank you so much. Thanks to generous Renegades just like you, we are able to keep the hockey club in action. We are able to keep the upgrades coming here in the bunker, and hopefully we'll be adding a ventilation system here to the studio coming up soon, and we're saving up for that right now. So again, scan the QR codes currently on the screen, or just search Renegades of Puck in Venmo. Now listen, I get it. Time for the No Half Step in hockey coverage. So let me get to the good. It's time for operation number 766. That's right. It is time for show number 766. And at this moment in hockey history, well, for the Milwaukee Admirals, they are in desperate need of a change of scenery, a return home, and some dramatically different gameplay and results than they have faced so far in the first two games of this best-of-7 series in the Western Conference Final against Coachella Valley Firebirds. Game 2, 5-3 in favor of Coachella Valley, just wrapping up a few minutes ago. Now the series 2-0 in favor of the Coachella Valley Firebirds. The next three games will take place in Milwaukee. Of course, that's only if Game 5 is necessary. Game 4 will take place on Monday, back to a reasonable start time for those of us covering the team in the Central Time Zone. Then Game 4, Game 5, also Milwaukee. Game 6, Game 7, if necessary, back in Coachella Valley. Now, I do want to update you on the Eastern Conference Finals just very quickly before we start getting fully into the minutia game breakdown and everything about Game 2 of the Western Conference Finals. Game 3 of the Eastern Conference Finals wrapped up just as Game 2 of the West was getting underway, and that was a 4-2 victory in favor of Hershey over Rochester. That means now Hershey, who started the series losing 5-1, now with a 2-0 victory in Game 2 and a 4-2 victory in Game 3, have taken a 2-1 lead in the series, and they will host the next couple of games. Now, let's talk more about the Admirals and the Coachella Valley Firebirds. Now, quick update on the Milwaukee Admirals and the Firebirds. We'll update your statistics. Luke Evangelista still leads the Admirals in total scoring with 4 goals and 9 assists for 13 points. Gross at 2 and 9 for 11. We do have updated numbers here. Del Gaizo 3 plus 7 now for 10 points. Sherwood still at 2 and 6 for 8. Kemmel still at 6 and 1 for 7. Afanasiev picks up a goal in the most recent game. 3 goals now on the series. See in the playoffs, that is. 5 assists total, 8 points. Askarov's updated stats and numbers now a record of 6 and 6, a .903 save percentage, a 2.70 goals against average. Joey Decord in net for the Coachella Valley Firebirds. Updated statistics now 10 and 5 on the Calder Cup playoffs, .927 save percentage and a 2.27 goals against average. Highly impressive update on the stats for the Firebirds. Lind still leads the team in scoring, 7 goals, 12 assists for 19 points, but McCormick now at 11 goals and 8 assists, also at 19 points. They are co-leaders of the Calder Cup scoring race at this point. Evans has an updated scoring as well. He's picked up an assist in the most recent game, so 2 and 13 for 15 points. Hughes adds another assist now, 14 total points off of 14 assists in the playoffs. And True adds another goal and now has 13 points overall in the Calder Cup playoffs. McKenna sits at 11. So the Milwaukee Admirals certainly have not made things very easy. Very uncharacteristic games out there on the West Coast. Now an opportunity to head back home in Game 3. It is a must-win early in the series, best of 7, but still backs against the wall. You do not want to go down 3-0 to the Coachella Valley Firebirds. Already going to be pretty difficult to win 4 out of 5, but right now you can only focus on the next one. Speaking of focusing on just one, we do need to go back and we do need to break down everything that happened in Game 2 of this best of 7 Western Conference Finals series that went in favor of Coachella Valley, but we need to find out how we got there. It's called the Rebirth Sports Full Game Recap, and it is, in fact, coming up next.
Hockey players are as unique as the game itself, and your uniform should be tailored to fit you. Rebirth Sports is your sports apparel tailor. From shells, bags, warm-ups, hats, hoodies, branding, and more, let Rebirth Sports be your custom hockey tailor.
And don't forget to tell them they do more than just hockey.
Rebirth Sports on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. Rebirth Sport, a match made in hockey.
It's now time for the Rebirth Sports Full Game Recap. We all the way back to May the 27th of the year 2023. The Milwaukee Admirals were in Coachella Valley taking the Firebirds in Game 2 of the best of 7 Western Conference Final. We are only 21 seconds into the second ever meeting between these two clubs, and it's Yaroslav Askarov coming up with a save on Schulte in close. At 1:01 of the first period, it's True picking up his 5th goal of the playoffs, giving Coachella Valley a 1-0 lead, and it was Askarov trying to play the puck off of the wall with his stick in the crease area. Complete misplay, mishandle leads to another awful goal as he loses the puck into his skate area and then kicks it into the net. True was there jamming away as well, and it's just another awful goal against for the starting netminder of the Milwaukee Admirals. Admirals not starting off very good. Down 1-0, just a minute 1 into the first period. 1:57 into the first period, Scarf comes up with a blocker save on Froden. At 2:07 of the first, Scarf comes with a save on Rafferty. Shots on goal at just the 1:57 mark of the first period. 5-0 in favor of the Firebirds. At 3:49 of the first period, Paganski's off the box. 2 minutes for interference. Set the pick play in the offensive zone. Got called for it, and that's going to give the Milwaukee Admirals their first opportunity to get into this game. That's where Sanford picks up his 3rd goal of the playoffs. It was Tomasino with the setup and Sanford with the finish from the low, sharp angle, tying the game at 1 apiece between Milwaukee and Coachella Valley. At 6:36 of the first period, Evans off the box. 2 minutes for interference, putting the Admirals on the power play. Decord would come up with a save on Sanford, then Decord would come with another save on Tomasino. At 8:53 at the first period, Decord would come with a save on Rushev at close range. At 10:47, Askarov would come up with a save on Petman. 11:35, Stastny off the box. 2 minutes for high sticking, and the special teams parade continues here in the first period. Askarov comes with a save on Lind, then another save on Schultz, then another save on Polorowski. Askarov incredibly busy during this penalty kill that the Admirals were able to successfully complete. But at 15:24, Luke Evangelista is off the box. 2 minutes for holding. Askarov immediately back to work. Save on Polorowski, another save on Polorowski, and then a save on Rafferty, his best save of the series without a doubt. Incredible reaction time, getting all the way to the back post and kicking out every part of the body to get over to there. We hit the end of the first period. We're tied at 1 apiece, but Coachella Valley is out shooting Milwaukee 15 shots on goal in the first period to 7 for Milwaukee. 1:45 into the second period on the clean sheet, and it's Frodin having his second goal of the playoffs, giving Coachella Valley a 2-1 lead. It was a sharp angle shot that goes off of Del Geyser, then over the shoulder of Askarov and into the back of the net. Just a tough bounce here for the Milwaukee Admirals. 2:52 of the second period. Sanford off to the box. 2 minutes for slashing. Now this happened in the offensive zone and clearly is just an awful penalty to take. No reason for it. Askarov comes up with a save on Karche, and then overall the penalty kill, it's decent. The aggressive pressure by the penalty killing unit seemed to stymie what was going on out there for the power play unit for the Firebirds. But at 6:35 of the second period, it's Petman's fourth goal of the playoffs. It's a wrist shot off of the rush, another long shot, no traffic, and it seemed like Askarov had plenty of time to see this one coming, and he gives up another soft goal here in the Calder Cup playoffs. 3-1 now in favor of Coachella Valley. 6:52 of the second period, Decord comes up with a save on Sherwood off of the rush. At 8:10 of the second, Decord comes up with a save on Ratcliffe off of the rush. The only place the Admirals seem to be generating any offense is off of the rush. No sustained pressure to this point in the game. At 8:53 of the second period, Ratcliffe's off the box. 2 minutes for holding in the offensive zone. Another terrible penalty here by the Milwaukee Admirals. Askarov has to come up with a save on Podorowski, and overall, again, a decent penalty kill, but they never should have been on this penalty kill. At 11:22 of the second period, Askarov comes with a save on Rafferty. 12:35, Evans off to the box. 2 minutes for tripping. Decord would come with a save on Sherwood, and the rebound would not be able to be put back by the Admirals. Decord would come with another save on Kemmel. Milwaukee would continue the pressure well after the power play. Their best zone time of the game, their most sustained pressure of the game up until this point. This was truly a bend not break moment for the Coachella Valley Firebirds. 18:25 of the second period. It's Decord coming up with a save on Ratcliffe, and then we flip over to the back of the sheet to find it 19:05 of the second period. McCarron's off to the box. 2 minutes for unsportsmanlike conduct. He shot the puck at one of the Firebirds players after the whistle had blown on a delayed offsides, and I typically do not try to be overly critical because mistakes can happen, but this was stupid. That is the proper critique of this penalty. McCarron is a veteran player, and this is a stupid penalty to take at any point in time in a regular season game, especially in the conference finals when you're already struggling against the Firebirds. Not much happening in the remaining moments of the second period on this power play for Coachella. So we hit the shots on goal for the end of the second period. It's Coachella Valley with 26, Milwaukee with 17. That means a carryover of 105 into the third period on the power play. Askarov would have to come up with a save on Lynn, but again, the PK would be there for the Admirals when needed. 3:18 in the third period. Decord comes up with a save on Rushev at 3:53 of the third period. Angelo's first goal of the playoffs was set up by Philip Tomasino, and the finish came from the low slot Angelo, who had been, well, let's face it, only visible when it comes to counting minor penalties throughout the playoffs. His first goal goes a long way to getting the Admirals back in this game. 3-2 in favor of Coachella Valley now at 3:53 into the third period. 5:57 into the third period. Decord comes up with a save on Sanford, and the Admirals seem to be finding a new gear, finding a new level, less timid, more assertive with the puck. Every time they get the puck, they're turning it back around and heading immediately into the offensive zone. This is the first time we've seen this from the Admirals against the Firebirds. We've certainly seen it plenty of times in the past. This is one of the first times the Admirals seem to look like their normal selves. 7:33 of the third period. Askarov come up with a save on Lynn. 9:32. Askarov come up with a save on Karche through traffic. At 11:06, Askarov come up with a save on Lynn. Time for the Admirals to counter punch. 11:59. it would be DeCord coming with a save on Tomasino at 12:27. DeCord comes up with a save on McCarron at 13:43. DeCord another save on Wilsby through traffic at 17:41. Wilsby sends a skipping shot towards the net from out high, and it looks like it's going to beat DeCord, but DeCord finds a way to keep that puck in from going into the net. He fights that one off. We lead to the empty net scenario just 1 second later, and it would take virtually no time at all for Coachella Valley to get the puck by way of physical confrontation at the blue line. 17:54. It's McCormick's 11th of the playoffs, an empty net breakaway goal after he just knocked Del Gaizo clear off the puck. Good, clean, physical battle right there. He takes the puck. He puts it in the net 4-2 in favor of Coachella Valley. In 1927, Tronsky comes up with his fourth goal of the playoffs, another empty net goal for Coachella Valley, making it 5-2. But in 1946, Igor Afanasyev, his third goal of the playoffs, he just walked through the D after they had completely stopped playing at the end of the game, and he did the good job. He had the puck, he took it through the neutral zone, knifed through the defense, goes right to the net, tucks the puck into the back of the net, giving Milwaukee their third goal of the game and making the final score 5-3. Now, Coachella Valley absolutely destroyed the Admirals in shots on goal, 37-27. That is a wide margin. The Admirals had been mostly out shooting teams so far in the playoffs, but certainly not in this game. This was not a very good night for the Milwaukee Admirals, giving up 5 against again, and they are now finished when it comes to playing in Coachella Valley in the first 2 games of this series, and if they don't turn things around very quickly, they won't be making a return trip to the West Coast for Game 6 in Game 7. That is for certain. What else is for certain is that was the Rebirth Sports full game recap. That was a lot to talk about, a lot happening in that game, but we've got so much more to talk about here on the Renegades of Puck podcast. We've got analysis coming up, we've got box score, and we've got so much more right here on Renegades of Puck, operation number 766. Back right after these messages.
Hello. I'm Tracy, owner-operator of Strong Style Fitness. And that's me and my training assistant, Rizzo. And we are here to bring you fitness that meets you where you are by offering circuit classes, bar-inspired classes, Tabata workouts, boot camps, guided stretching, and more, all taught by a certified personal trainer, me. To learn more, go to our website, strongstylefit.com. Subscribe on YouTube at Strong Style Fitness. Follow on social media at Strong Style Fit. But most importantly, let's get you moving. It doesn't matter if it's your first workout or you've been doing it for years. Strong Style Fitness has the workout that meets you on your journey and helps you along the path to a happier, healthier life. I understand where you've been, what you were going through, and where you were going, and I want to take you there. We'll see you on the mat. Mwah.
Yaroslav Askarov was 32 out of 35 in this game. You know, I had to make another notation. Another long goal off of the rush with no traffic, and another soft goal. The first goal of the game was just simply a misplay. Nobody else to blame for it but Yaroslav Askarov. And you know what? It is getting frustrating, and I know that we have to temper our frustrations with a rookie netminder because there are going to be growing pains and learning curves, but there have been too many bad trends in these Calder Cup playoffs, and yes, I know the Milwaukee Admirals have ridden the back and the skates of Yaroslav Askarov to this point in the Calder Cup playoffs to the conference finals, but right now, 2.70 goals against average for the playoffs, 903 save percentage. Those numbers are worse than what his regular season numbers were, and certainly worse than what he was putting up in the playoffs to this point. So for Yaroslav Askarov, I understand it's going to be a ride-or-die situation with Milwaukee Admirals. He is definitely going to get the start in Game 3, and I don't believe there would even be any consideration into turning things over to Devin Cooley. But for Yaroslav Askarov, he has to learn the hard lessons from what has happened throughout this Calder Cup playoff run. The number of long-distance, not traffic-related goals that have gone into the net is simply too many, and the number of mistakes made around the net and misplays around the net just absolutely cannot continue. This prospect has a lot expected of him, and when he continues to make plays like that, people who were very certain of his future start to make doubtful comments. So for Askarov, he needs to get home and he needs to come up with a much better, cleaner performance than what he put up in Coachella Valley. Just not good enough. Now, I do want to mention at least some positive from this game. Phil Tomasino, again, 2 assists in this game. I'll pick up his first goal of the series in game 1. He's been the best forward for Milwaukee in the series. He's working incredibly hard. He's very noticeable. He's setting up a number of offensive opportunities. Matter of fact, he forced some turnovers in this game, got some good scoring opportunities off of those. Overall, Phil Tomasino is just been the most noticeable of any of the forwards so far in a positive way. Believe me, plenty have been noticeable in a negative way. But Phil Tomasino has turned that corner and seems to be coming alive at just the right time. And the Milwaukee Admirals going back home. If Tomasino can continue that and get some support, the Admirals are going to find a way to get back in this series. Sanford scored a goal in this game, power play goal, his 3rd goal of the playoffs. He also generated 4 shots on goal and has 7 points overall in the Calder Cup playoffs for Sanford. Noticeable out there on the rink tonight. Thought that he was playing good, playing hard, and had opportunities on the jams, rebounds, where if he could have caught a break, would have had another goal in this game. So just wanted to make sure we point out the positive performances of those 2 forwards in this game. And we also have to talk about the positives when it comes to the special teams. After game 1, the special teams in game 1 were just absolutely just as bad as they had been in a very long time. Well, the power play gets a conversion in this game, so they go 1 out of 4, but it was the penalty kill that was certainly the more impressive of the units on the night. 5 out of 5. Shorthanded for 10 minutes in this game. And yes, Askarov had to come up with some big saves and did have to work hard on those penalty kills, but it was the overall 4-player unit out there that was very aggressive, stopped the Firebirds from having time and space to set up in the offensive zone, and really did a good job of getting the puck down the ice, tying things up. So the penalty kill unit deserves some outstanding stick taps for what they were able to accomplish in this game. Now, I wanted to mention some positive things because this right here, the dumb penalties, I for the first time in probably 100 episodes, I use the word stupid on this broadcast. I hate using that word. I try to never use that word. I try to elevate the level of discourse and don't say something's just stupid. But when you take a penalty like McCarron did in this game, a veteran player for this Milwaukee Admirals team, just shooting the puck out of frustration at a player on the opposing team after the whistle. You could say the same thing for the slashing penalty earlier in the game. Just brutal. Just because you didn't put the puck in the net doesn't mean you should go ahead and turn around and slash the defender coming in. Just dumb penalties are just dooming this Milwaukee Admirals Calder Cup playoff run, and it can no longer happen. From this game forward, the sheet has to be as clean as possible. There are always going to be penalties, but we all understand the difference between Luke Evangelista hooking someone in the neutral zone when the team is on the rush and he's falling behind on defense and he takes a penalty, or just doing something absolutely stupid like holding behind the net in the offensive zone, slashing in the crease of the offensive zone, and, of course, shooting the puck at an opposing player. It has to stop immediately, and Carl Taylor has to seriously consider lineup changes. Michael McCarron should probably be out of the lineup after what he did. As a matter of fact, Angelo, even though he did score a goal and finally made a positive contribution in these Calder Cup playoffs, has literally been invisible other than the penalty box throughout the entirety of the Calder Cup playoffs. So Carl Taylor has a long flight home and an awful lot to think about before the Game 3 has to be made and played on Monday night. But lineup adjustments, I think, need to happen. We've seen some minor tweaking, a player here, a player there, Schneider back in the lineup tonight, but it has to be, I think, a little bit more of a change. They have to find the Milwaukee Admirals energy that they've had all season long. against Coachella Valley, they just simply have not looked like the same team that we watched and covered for 72 regular season games and then 10 playoff games through 2 rounds leading up to this series against Coachella Valley Firebirds. It's just not been the same team in any way out there. That's going to do it for the analysis of this game. The digital environment can be quite intimidating, time-consuming, and cumbersome, especially with all those other areas that need attention at your business, and that's why Stripe Digital Solutions is here to help. I know, because that's exactly what Stripe Digital Solutions did for me and the Renegades of Puck. From designing my home website and helping me create my merchandise to special event posters, brand building, and social media management. But it's not just that, it's so much more. Stripe Digital Solutions has helped me every step of the way. From startup to full-time operation, Stripe Digital Solutions has been there to assist and advise every single step of the journey. In today's fast-paced world, the path to success is having a strong digital partner, and nobody is better in the trenches than Brandy and Stripe Digital Solutions. Get the solution before it's even a problem with Stripe Digital Solutions. When it comes to the box score, your goal scorers for the Milwaukee Admirals, Zach Sanford, Anthony Angelo, and, of course, Igor Afanasiev right there at the end of regulation, just knifing through the D. It was great to see. You never stop playing, even when you're down by a couple of goals and there's only a few seconds left. And Afanasiev is looking to have a long career in the NHL, and that's the type of stuff that's going to get the coaching staff, the GM, to absolutely notice your effort, your no-quit attitude, and your desire to finish the game. And that's exactly what Afanasiev put on display tonight. It was nice to see. Caught the Firebirds absolutely just quitting on the last 15 seconds of the game and just sliced right through them and put the puck in the net. Hopefully that's a sign to the rest of the Admirals that you can accomplish these types of things in short amounts of times with just the right amount of energy. When it comes to the assists, Phil Tomasino led the Admirals with 2 other assists getters for the Milwaukee Admirals. Mark Delgado had 1, Spencer Stastny had 1 out there on the blue line. Michael McCarron did pick up an assist, but that doesn't make up for the dumb penalty that he took. Adam Wilsby also picks up an assist in this game. Wilsby almost put the tying goal in there in the third period with that skipping shot. Shots on goal. Sanford led the Milwaukee Admirals with shots on goal with 4. Isaac Ratcliffe at 3. Kiefer Sherwood also had 3. Now it comes to in net Yaroslav Askarov, 32 out of 35 in this game. Just a couple of other statistics. Shots on goal. Coachella Valley outshoots Milwaukee Admirals for the second game in a row, second game in the series, 37-27. This was flipped the opposite direction in the previous rounds for the Admirals. The Admirals defense did a good job of limiting shots, and the Milwaukee Admirals offense did a good job of gaining shots. So far through 2 games, Coachella Valley absolutely dominating in the shots on goal portion of this series. When it comes to special teams, the Admirals much improved over game 1. 1 out of 4 on the power play, and Coachella Valley was 0 for 5 after being 1 for 4 in the first game. The penalty kill, 5 out of 5 for the Milwaukee Admirals, absolutely stellar. Now, for the series, the Admirals penalty kill, which was, of course, 3rd overall during the regular season and also quite impressive during the postseason. At this point, they are 8 out of 9 through 2 games. Too many penalties, too many shorthanded opportunities against Milwaukee Admirals penalty kill unit, though, has been responding and keeping the Milwaukee Admirals in this. And when you look at the Coachella Valley Firebirds, just one more number, one more stat to throw out at you. I need to kind of go back and kind of count as I go, but that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 times. That's the 8th time that the Coachella Valley Firebirds have scored 5 goals or more in the Calder Cup playoffs. I mean, it's no wonder that they have piled up so many statistics and so many points and so many goals overall, but just absolutely blowing teams off of the rink. In the 8th time now, they've scored 5 goals or more. Now, they have been susceptible on the road, and they have played in some lower scoring games, and that's where the Admirals can maybe take advantage moving forward. But that's more analysis and not necessarily box score, but I wanted to make sure I included that last particular thing just to show you again in Coachella Valley, 48-17, 5-2 in the regular season, 103 points, second in the Pacific. So it's not surprising to see them putting up these types of numbers. 3.57 goals per game during the regular season, was third overall. I mean, they're just killing it on the offensive side of things. That's going to do it for the box score and the stats, the analysis, the recap. That's pretty much got game 2 taken care of. So let's go ahead and close this thing out by talking about game 3. And we're going to talk about this very quickly. A change of scenery is the most necessary thing for this Milwaukee Admirals team right now. Their first trip ever to playing against Coachella Valley Firebirds, well, it was a disaster, but it's also now over, and they're headed back home to the stronghold of Milwaukee, to a more customary start time, to everything that is more familiar with them. So the Admirals, by far, not done in this series, but game 3 is what I consider to be a must-win. It's not an elimination game, but if you go down 3 games to none of the Coachella Valley Firebirds, you're not going to win 4 in a row. That's going to be incredibly difficult, but if you win game 3, you suddenly put all of the pressure back on Coachella Valley, because going into game 4, you'd have an opportunity to tie the series, and then game 5 would also be on home ice. So game 3, in my opinion, is a must-win, and I also think you're going to see a different team. I think when the team gets back home, they are going to come back alive. They just simply looked like strangers in a strange land. They did not seem to be themselves in any way, shape, or form. So I hope that when they get back home, they're going to be back to the normal Milwaukee Admirals that we have talked about and discussed and broken down and done so many shows about. I think we're going to get that. I think Monday is going to be a very different story. And then again, if the Admirals complete winning game 3, the pressure scenario shifts back towards Coachella Valley, and then the Admirals can get back in this series and then ultimately, hopefully, make it a best of 3 after 4 games. You never know what can happen. The Admirals get an opportunity to come back out to the Coachella Valley area and play against the Firebirds in Game 6 and Game 7. But right now, Coachella Valley's got a stranglehold on the series. Their offense is absolutely piling up the points, and the Admirals, unless they clean up their game dramatically and do it in the next 24 hours, then they are not going to be going to the Calder Cup Finals. That is for certain. They would not have beaten any team that they have faced so far in the playoffs with the way that they have played through these first 2 games. As a matter of fact, if they played like this during the regular season, it's highly doubtful we would have been talking about them in the playoffs at all. So we know that this it can be turned around, and for Carl Taylor, he's going to have to get things calmed down and completely turned around. I would actually imagine instead of peeling paint, he probably just gave them a pat on the back and said, get on the plane, let's go home, and let's get to work. And that's exactly what we're going to do here in the bunker. We'll be back Monday night. It may be a holiday, but not for the Renegades of Puck. The Renegades of Puck are always in the trenches. If there's a game being played and there's a game to be broken down, the Renegades of Puck are in the trenches and in the bunker, and we will be here for you, breaking down Game 3 on Monday night, talking all things Admirals, Firebirds, and Calder Cup playoffs. Thank you so much to the Full Press Hockey Network. We sure do appreciate each and every one of you and all the hard work that you're doing behind the scenes to help us get more and more listeners each and every day. One by one, we're bringing those Renegades to the trenches, and we're having a damn good time doing it. I appreciate your listenership. I appreciate your time, and I most importantly appreciate each and every one of you. Please be safe out there over this weekend. Don't overdo it, and please don't get behind the wheel if you have been out there overdoing it. Get a friend to take you where you got to go and call a Renegade. Believe me, we will help take care of you. And for you Renegades who are going through some tough times right now, and I know plenty of you are, no Renegade walks alone. We're with each and every one of you. So please be careful out there. Be safe this weekend. Have a good time, and we'll see you back here in the trenches soon. I'm your host and Captain Crazy Charlie Saunier. Stick taps, love, and respect.